All right, we're at the NBA All-Star break, and most teams have about 30 games, give or take, left to play in the regular season. So I think it's a good time to do some All-Star break evaluation and answer some of the biggest questions before the final stretch of the season. Joining me to answer the big questions is my guy, Jarod Hector of TrueHoop, who joins me now. Jarod, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's All-Star break, so I'm feeling lovely. Nice few days off from basketball. I love it, but it's nice to have a little break.
Always good to have a little break. So, Jarod, let's tip this thing off. We're going to start with the Knicks. The team, they lost 4 straight games heading into the break, and they've been without 6 of their top 8 players for a couple of games, and specifically in their last game against the Magic. You recently have been high on the Knicks. You've praised their play since the start of the new year. So I got to ask you this. How concerned are you about their health right now?
I mean, I'm very concerned. Look, Julius Randle out, OG Anunoby out. These are key pieces to their organization. And you said they mentioned they lost 4 straight coming to the break. And Dexter, their games coming out of the break. In their next 10, they've got the 76ers 3 times, Boston, the Pelicans, the Warriors, the Cavs, the Hawks, and the Magic. Those are all above 500 teams. Now, the good news is 8 of those 10 are at home. But I'm concerned because they go on a little losing streak right here, 5 or 6 games in a row where they lose 4 out of 7 or something like that. And now we're deep down heading towards that 7-8 range, and we have some problems. So I'm concerned about the team right now in terms of their injury health, and hopefully some of those guys get back soon.
Yeah, Knicks fans are hoping for that they can get healthy fast and get those guys back soon. Now, keeping it in the East, we also got to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks, who made an in-season coaching change, parting ways with Adrian Griffin, bringing in Doc Rivers. The Bucks, they are 3rd in the conference right now, but they're 3-7 since hiring Rivers. They also traded for Patrick Beverley at the deadline in hopes of fixing their perimeter defense, which has not been good, as you know, Jarod. So I got to ask you this. What are the Bucks right now? Are they a serious team or not?
The Bucks are down bad right now is what they are. Listen, they fired Adrian Griffin, and I don't understand why. It was a Giannis thing, I know. First he wanted him, then he didn't. The whole Dame thing, getting rid of Terry Stotts, understand all that. But this team was very good, 30-17, 30-15, somewhere around that range when they got rid of Adrian Griffin. 3-7, as you mentioned, since Doc's taken over. Look, they can't guard anybody. That's number one. Number two, Damian Lillard, something is off with this guy. He's shooting 34% from 3. He has just not been himself. Still looking metrically like an all-star level player, which he is. But last year, you could have argued, Dex, he was the best offensive player in the league. He's nowhere near that. And if he's going to play the poorest defense he normally does, and he's not the best offensive player in the league, this is a problem on a defense in general that is overall cratering. Not to mention Brook Lopez on the decline. Their bench, Bobby Portis, Jay Crowder, is not good, right? And so this team is down bad right now.
Yeah, down bad. I wonder how much it gets dicier if that record gets worse with Doc Rivers as head coach. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, out west, the first-place team, the Timberwolves, they lead the 4th-place Nuggets by 4 games. The 2nd and 3rd-place teams, they're the Thunder and the Clippers, and they are 2 and 3 games, respectively, out of that top spot. It's a tight race. They're out in the Western Conference. So who wins the conference, Jarod?
Right now I have to say the Denver Nuggets. Dexter, they're like a car on the highway that's driving 60 miles an hour. They know exactly where they're going. They're not going the speed limit. They're going slightly above. They're not going too fast. They're just in cruise control right now in that middle lane, waiting to get to that off ramp when it's really time to go. That's exactly where they are right now. So I love the Denver Nuggets, but I will say this. Do not count out the LA Clippers. If that team is healthy come April, May, June, that will be one hell of a conference finals, the Nuggets and the Clippers, if it ends up working out that way.
Yeah, I'd love to see that one, but I think you can just not discount the Nuggets. They are the champs. They still have the best player in the league in Jokic. So we'll get more to best player in the league and who's playing at the MVP level in a second. But I also got to talk to you about these 2 teams. The Lakers, first up, they entered the break winning 6 out of their last 7 games. The Warriors, the other team I want to talk about, they've won 8 out of their last 10. Los Angeles is the 9th spot, Warriors in the 10th spot. Do you believe either of these teams can have a surge post-All-Star break and get out of the play-in tournament seeds?
In a word, no. Look, any team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you got to give them credit, but they have a Darvin Ham problem still to me. And in games that are tight and close, it matters. Can he make the right adjustments, do what is necessary? Because again, this is like the playoffs for them, right? If they want to make that run, these last 30 games or so are going to be they got to make that move. And I don't quite see it for them. The Warriors, look, they've been playing well since Draymond got back. They haven't really beaten anyone of consequence except for the Suns at home, and that was on a last-second shot by Curry, basically at the buzzer. I'm still not sold on them. Clay is not great, and Draymond is still, to me, always teetering on that edge. He is one more move away from doing – and listen, it almost happened against the Clippers earlier this week. So I don't trust him.
Not trusting either of these teams. Two marquee teams in the league right now with two marquee stars. We'll see how they do and finish out the rest of the season. I want to talk to you about the MVP race because with Joel Embiid out with injury, the race might have opened up a bit. So I got to ask you this. Who's the league's most valuable player right now?
I think betting odds say Nikola Jokic, but if you watch, it's been Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. This man is playing at another level. Dexter, you know what player has really, truly gotten it when he's playing at his own pace and you can't speed him up or do anything to him, much like Jokic. Shai gets to his spot every single time, rises up in that mid-range, and he is elite. Averaging 31, 5, 6, and 2 steals a game, leading the league in steals on 54, 37, 88 shooting splits. He's second in the league in estimated plus minus, a full 2 points, almost 2 points ahead of the third place player in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Look, I just think SGA is playing on another level right now. To me, he is the MVP, and if he does win it, this will be the 6th consecutive year an international player wins the NBA MVP, which I think is a great thing.
Yeah, it is a great thing. The people who are fans of the American players are not going to be so happy about that. I do think the race is going to be interesting. Will Jokic win a third in 4th years, or are people going to have a little bit of voter fatigue? But you're right, Shai's been balling, and what he's done with the Thunder this year has been very impressive, especially if they have a chance to finish with the top seed in the West. We'll see how all that shakes out. So much more basketball left to go. So much more to break down. Jarod, enjoy the All-Star weekend. That is Jarod Hector of TrueHoop. Check out his work there. And Jarod, we'll talk to you after the break.
All right, man.